What's going on, everybody? It says I'm live. I'm live, and there's 33 people watching, and we're going to look at some old photography that I did a while back. When I say a while, I mean going on 9 and 10 years ago back. I hope everybody's going well in the chats. My name's Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger, don't you know? We got a lot of crazy things going on in the world, so I thought we would harken back to a much nicer era when Vegas wasn't full of viruses and protests. You know, classic Vegas, if that's what you want to call it. So hopefully you guys are all having a good time. I have all of these loaded up to my Patreon in very good resolution quality, but I thought I would show them to you here. If you guys are on the Patreon, you guys will know, this is the commercial part, we have extra stuff for you. Photos that I do. I used to want to be a photographer. Somebody recently said I should sell the photos. I thought I would beta test my photos right here with you guys so you can see how they look. And you can tell me if they are crap or if they are good, but they're definitely not what you think. I went downtown. They're predominantly of downtown. I do have some of the strip. Whoa, Vegas Mooch, checking me out. Thank you, Vegas Mooch. Apparently, according to YouTube's broken window, and I have asked them about it, there's only 33 people watching me until I refresh the page every single time. How many thanks do we give to Vegas Mooch? 135 thanks. And to Okerlund, thank you guys so much. So we're going to take a look at some Vegas photos today. I'm going to drink some water before I get a little paklempt. Water, the essence of all life. I did get my cool preamp, but I have to get a power cable. So this can't work with my professional mic setup yet. Look at this thing. This weighs a good 2 pounds. I'm really impressed. It looks cool. I can't wait to work it, but I got to get a proper 7.5 to 12 volt AC/DC. Thunderstruck. Boom. Vegas Mooch Okerlund. Look at YouTube's algorithm. It censored Randall for no reason whatsoever. So we're going to take a look at some photos. You guys want to see some photos? I went downtown with an old camera. The camera I want to get is called a Panasonic Lumix G9. It's one of the best photography cameras, and it's a great video camera. And I like to do photography. Somebody said I should sell these things. I don't even know. What do you sell them for? $5? I'll give you $5. This is what my wife and I used to watch this show called I can't remember what it's called. It was on HGTV. They would go around to yard sales or they would go to swap meets and they would try to buy furniture and then rehab it, and they'd have to make an offer on the person. So they had a budget. They had to beat their budget. And every time they go up to somebody and they don't know how to bargain, I'd be like, you give them $5, because they're usually on the East Coast. So you say it really annoying like that. Armin is here. Barev, my friend, make America great again. We are making America something. Why is everybody going political? This ain't a political there, kids. This is just me talking about photography I did. If you guys want to see Flea Market Flip, Evan, boom, you are correct. Yeah, Flea Market Flip was the bomb. I went on HGTV streaming and I couldn't find it, and I was very saddened. I'm like, where did my Flea Market Flip go? Vegas Mooch asks Armen not to spam. Oh my gosh, Armen. You're always in my chats, so I'm going to make you a moderator. And now I'll be accused of being partisan. It's not partisan. It's just that Armen has been here since, I think, July, August, since I started doing live streams. And he doesn't pitch in and be a level 3, but he can be a level 2. Not everybody can pitch in, and that's what that is. So Armen, you should be a moderator now. Just be nice. And I'm only doing that not because you said political stuff, but because I don't want anybody who's been with me for a long time to say political stuff and they get kicked out. Even if you're saying political stuff for the other side, I wouldn't want you to be kicked out of the chat because of your political views, because you've been watching me on live streams for the better part of almost a year now. Where has the time gone? I've almost been live streaming for an entire year. So here we are. We have the craziest time in human history. Does anybody remember this thing called COVID-19? Because I kind of don't. Whoa, 1,000 gives me 2.29 euros. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're a local Las Vegan from across the pond. What country in Europe are you from, Wooly? You tell me in the comments, and I would love to see it if I can see it. Buffalo's here, making Vegas great again. Is there still the grand opening happening on Thursday? I purchased my ticket. I think it's going to happen. They haven't called it off. I just heard some things that they were very nervous. Now, I haven't seen on the review journal anything about protests today, so we'll see. We have to get through the night, and we have about 6 hours left in the day until things could get worse. I think if nothing happens today, nothing happens on the 4th, and I'll be live streaming right there for you guys to watch it if you can't get here to Las Vegas. Dwayne Johnson needs to be the president. If you don't smell what America's cooking, jabroni, then you do that weird thing. I can't do that thing with my eye. This is that thing he does where he goes like this. Is that right? Am I doing it right? Am I okay with it? Okay. But also, some people can't do this. They can't live long and prosper, like Spock. So I do have that. Did they catch that hit and run driver? I seriously doubt it, Andrea. I seriously doubt it. From Caesars, right? I don't know. I'll be all over the strip. I'm not going to stand in one spot. You guys will have to track me down if you're going to be here. Just be nice to me, please. Be nice. Have mercy. I've had a hard week. It's been a hard week. I missed all the banks today. I couldn't get to the bank. I was at work. One of my contracts didn't sign the contract, so I couldn't get paid today because that's the rules at work. It is what it is. Who wants to look at some Vegas photos? Have you guys ever tried photography? Do I have any photographers in the house? I say it like Hank Hill. Photography. That's my Hank Hill impression. Do I have any photographers in the audience? This won't get a lot of viewers, guys. I'm not going to get 1,000 viewers on this live stream. Maybe I'll get 1,000 again someday. I had 1,273 one time. So we have 200 here. Do we have any photographers? Jeffrey says that he's a photographer. What kind of photography do you take? It could be landscape. You could do pictures of animals and wildlife. You could do birds. Some people do birds in flight. Those are very hard to take pictures of. Terry's a photographer as well. I knew that because we had a discussion about that over on Patreon or email, and I appreciate that. I got Victor. Victor looks like he's a photographer. I got a lot of photographers here. I am afraid to show you these photos now. What if I suck? What if they're terrible? Pico, were you using a computer back in the day? What kind of computer? Atari was good for graphics back in the day from what I heard, but Mac ruled the roost. I take pictures all the time, but by myself. No, Paul, they are not naughty pictures of Las Vegas. Helen is here. Hi, Helen. How you doing? It's a hard week, but it's only Monday. I lose track of time. Actually, it's not true. Work has deadlines, and I don't lose track of time. My wife is not mad. My wife is mad at you, but would still want to meet you. I'm not sure what she's mad at me about. That's scary. I don't want to meet anybody mad at me. My photos suck. Well, let's take a look at mine. So we take a look at my photos. I will just save the punchline for what we're doing. Boom, window capture 101. So we're going to take a look at some photos. A lot of them are formatted in such a way that you probably will be like, ew. But a lot of them are not, they're just what they are. So I'll tell you a little bit about these photos. I took most of these back in 2010, 2011. Back then, there was kind of YouTube. I think it existed. But I thought it was going to be a photographer. What's funny about this is that I'm currently making little faces and emoting on the camera like you can even see me. It's ridiculous. So let's make this bigger. Oh, I see what happened. I made it bigger and then it got smaller. I made it smaller. It gets smaller. So let's make this bigger and then let's take me and let's do a little switcheroo here and let's put me on top so you can actually see what I'm talking about. And there, and now I'm on top. But oh my God, I lost my thing. There I am. You can see me now. All right, can you see me now? And we have our photography, my friends. Let's see if we can make that. There it is. Okay, so here we have, basically, this is the Four Queens downtown. And I remember walking down there. I was using an old Canon camera. The Canon 20D or D20, I don't recall. There was two versions of that camera. I had the latter version. And these are HDR type of photography. So you have basically an interesting view of things. You take multiple exposures. Exposures are where it's too dark, it's underexposed, it's too bright, it's overexposed. And then you take a perfect one, and then you layer them on your computer, and you go through the computer, and you work them. You basically do that, because here's what this is. Your human eye only sees everything, but your camera sensor doesn't see everything. Even the best lens won't let your camera sensor see everything until camera sensors get better. So this is the Four Queens, just at the Valet one day. It was kind of a hot day in downtown Las Vegas. This next one right here, I took. You guys want to guess where I took this? You guys should know where I took this. Everybody in the chat should know where I took this one. So we have the Venetian, of course. This is the Venetian Hotel. You guessed it right. This was way back when the National Geographic was inside of the Venetian. And I took this on a really old smartphone. I think it was a Galaxy S3 or something like that. So we're talking a decade ago. This is using an app for HDR photography. Wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad either. And we'll get to my next one here. Yep, Venetian, you are correct, sir. And some of these are not spectacular. This was before Hell's Kitchen. This was the era where you had, gosh, I can't remember the one from New York City down. If you guys remember the name of the restaurant that was in front of Caesar's Palace, it was based out of New York City. So we have that right there. This is, of course, the Caesar's Fountains in front of Caesar's Palace. So we have that. Now, what's interesting about this is I used to work in front of here. I used to do the timeshare, slinging around timeshare in front of Caesar's Palace. Now, if I was going to take this over again, I'd probably use a different exposure, and I'd try to make the water move and make it fluid. But these are interesting. Some of these are more like just snapshots. Some of them you're going to see them and they kind of look artistic. Maybe. Who would buy this stuff? I don't know. Somebody said, 2 people said, my wife said. But this one was not a purchasable one. This, of course, is the Grand Bazaar shops while it was under construction. And what you used to have here is you used to have a big, huge walkway with fountains. The fountains were actually right here. This was a moving walkway. The fountains would have been out here. They dug all the foundation out, and they basically compacted everything and poured foundations for all of the shops. This is where I walk past, and I show you guys Ben and Jerry's. It was Serendipity. Thank you. Serendipity 3 was the name of the restaurant. You guys winner chicken dinners. Now, here we get into some better shots. This is, of course, in front of the Mirage. I used to love walking up and down the strip and just taking photos. A lot of these are handheld, so they're not as sharp as I'd like them. But again, they're not as exposed as I'd like them too. This was a cloudy day, so the sky doesn't look nicely blue. Almost got hired by American Printing Company down on Fremont. Wish I would have got it. There's also Cashman Photo. You can get hired there. They do a lot of photography. Vegas Mooch asks if there's any on my Pixel 3. No, I actually really pulled deeply into the vault for these. And you'll see some of these photos are decent. They're not bad. Now, this one is funny. I think I took this with my Note 4. I took this down at Town Square, right in front of the Apple Store. And I just kind of looked down and I saw this carbon fiber that I really, really liked. And so I made sure that I snapped a shot of it. Now, it's really low light. I actually took 3 different photos, and I got home. And when I got home, I worked them on my PC using Photoshop. And, there's some things about HDR photography that you might not like. Some people don't like the surrealism of it. HDR photography is what all phones do now, but these are with human beings taking time on them. And then we have Caesar's Palace. Now, these are some of my favorite pictures I've ever taken. This is, of course, the Forum shops in front of Caesar's Palace. And when I said you guys have more light and more exposure, you got to take a look at the way some of this light reflects off here and how it kind of looks like how if your eye was hitting it. Kind of itchy nose. That's no fun. And the way the light beams are flashing in off of the front of the building. I must have taken this early in the morning because sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, of course. And this is facing towards the east part of Las Vegas. Now, this is a really cool place that you should go in Las Vegas no matter what you do. This is where the retail was. My favorite reason to go in there used to be the Sony store. Of course, they got rid of all the Sony stores. And, there's no more Sony. But now there's like some clothing store down there. It's never been a good place for anybody. The Leica store that I wish I could afford, but they're $15,000 and that's stupid. They're not even that good of a camera. Leicas. They're good, but they're not that good. Their lenses are better. That's actually right in this area up here. So when I walk out underneath that giant thing with columns on it, you guys will see that right there. This was 10 years ago, yes. These are way overexposed, overcooked, oversaturated. This is the Bellagio. Way back in the day, about 10 years ago, what they did with the Bellagio, this was during Chinese New Year, and they don't call it that anymore because that's apparently, what is it, kids? Racist. Yeah, it's not racist, but they call this Chinese New Year. Back in the day, now it's Asian-themed New Year's, who knows. This is cool. Paul, I have some desert photos, but they're not in this crop. This is mainly sticking to the strip and everything like that. So we have some more here. And I like the way the colors look. It kind of has a dreamlike feel because the Bellagio feels very dreamy when you go into it. And if I took this photo again, I would definitely probably take it in a widescreen format. I got there when there was no people. This was early in the morning. It's important when you're trying to take photographs, you find when people are not there. Do I have any of the staircase at the Bellagio? I don't believe I do. Chinese New Year is not a problem. We call it that in San Francisco, April says. That is very good. I like it. So, what else do we got? We got downtown. This is before the light show upgrade. Again, this is during March. We can see... No, it's not... Yeah, it's during March. You can see... No, I lied to you. This has got to be during... What is winter time? Yes, this was winter. This is when I had the unfortunate experience working timeshare downtown. I never liked downtown. The crowd was always better for me. This is Binion's Gambling Hall, of course. I love the way, now when I say these are HDR, you can see more of the shadows right up here. You can actually see a lot more of all of the colors coming out of it. It just pops. It feels very, very realistic. Realistic. Oh, thank you, John, for hitting the like button. And this right here is down during wintertime. It's colder. It's not so warm. Everybody's wearing pants. And yeah, this is standing right on the other side. It would be the Four Queens, I want to say. So they have a good breakfast at Binion's, ADSC says. Very good to know. Very good to know. Samstown, the atrium over there, has a very noisy atmosphere because of the Mystic Falls. Very nice. Cincinnati Kid is here in Summerlin. Oh, look. It's this one here. Hey, this one here. You want to be on camera? Oh, no. He says, don't pick me up. He's clawing into the carpets. It's this one right here. This guy right here. Blackjack in the house. Just look like you're so freaked out all the time. Are you looking at yourself? You're a superstar, baby. Be happy. You don't want to be in my arms. You want to go down. Maybe he'll make another appearance later on. So we have Blackjack. I took this with a camera lens that somebody lent me. It was like $1,000 freaking camera lens. And that's why you can see the depth of field. That's why it's so blurry behind him. And I just love the way that the reflection comes off of his eye. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's just so pretty right there. I love that. I put this on a shirt. It's actually available. And you guys can buy that. It has my logo on it. And oh my God, maybe the best picture I ever took in a million years. I took this, obviously, at a different time of the day. And you can see the light and the way the light shines in. This one is one of my favorite photos I've ever done, honestly. It's a really slow exposure. That's why you can see that on a slow-moving escalator, everybody is just a whirl. But over here, everybody seems to be frozen in time. So it's the perfect... it's the perfect combination of exposure and shutter speed and everything. And I think this is actually 6 images that goes into one image to create this final output. And gosh, somebody said this looks like art. I just think it looks like something that I created a long time ago when I had hopes and dreams and aspirations of being a creator. Gosh, things are different. Everything's changing, everybody, all the time. This is another shot looking down. So in the first shot, I'm obviously kind of behind the staircase right here. And this is another shot. Whoa, Paul. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. You're awesome, Paul. Thank you so much. Guys, give Paul 200 some odd thank yous and likes and everything like that. And we're just coasting here in Vegas until the casinos open up in a few days. Yeah, this shot here is also one of my favorites. And again, if you look in the shadows here, oh, I'm trying to zoom in and I can't apparently zoom in. If you look at the shadows and you look at everything in here, you can see the way the soft light kind of hits off of these right here. And you can see the way that this just looks like it was originally painted. There's nothing overdone about it. There's no like artificiality is there, but it's more like how your eye would see it. There really does look like some cruise ship decks inside the Caesar's Palace, is what Jasonic says. It is true, mon ami. It is true. Jasonic is in Quebec, Canada, so I have to talk like that. I can talk like a French Canadian. If you guys want me to talk like a French Canadian, let me know. It's pretty funny when I do it because they have a way that they talk. What else do we got here? We got to find some more photos. I'm boring you. Shut up and show us pictures. What else do we have here? That's not my last one. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Oh, I'm not zoomed out all the way. All right. So this is downtown. We go off the strip. Caesars will open on June 4th. Yes, absolutely it will. This is old signs from the Neon Museum. Now, this was technically before the Neon Museum even existed. So before the Neon Museum existed, before the Downtown Grand was the Downtown Grand, we had the empty, burned out Lady Luck. The old Lady Luck. Doesn't exist no more, my friends. It's not here anymore. And this was a public little plaza way. Now, these signs aren't even there anymore. These signs have all been moved to the Neon Museum. And if you look, there's a commemorative plaque right here. It shows you the Neon Museum and everything about it. We also have the Nevada, Hotel Nevada. That's the original, down where the Salvage and now the Las Vegas Golden Gate Hotel, sits. Nevada, vacancy, refrigeration. It just says refrigeration and garages. Pretty funny, right? This is all down on Ogden and I think 3rd Street or something like that. Now, if you go down there, there's a little public walkway you can go check out. But this is a long time ago. This was what it was. Moving on to did Caesar stay there? We go back downtown. These are not in any particular order. I just went into my Dropbox and I just grabbed a bunch of these. So this is the lobby at Caesar's. And the hardest part about a photo like this is that you have all of this muted light, but you have this big glaring light that's inside. This is, of course, the sun coming in from one of the sunlights that they built in the Caesar's Palace. So it's hard to take this photo. It's hard to expose this correctly and get the blue. So I did the best I very could. I could probably do better now if I had a better equipment. Pardon me. But, you know, I worked with what I had at the time. That camera's long gone. I think it was actually donated. So some of the best sculptures in the entire city are inside of Caesar's Palace. And I know that they're recreations. I know that they're artificial, but you know what? They're still beautiful. We have some more. This is back in the Caesar's Palace in the Forum Shops. The Forum Shops. And this is by a place called, geez Louise, the name escapes me. I haven't been in the casinos in 2 months. Tavi or something. There's an Italian place. My wife and I went to a date there on one of our original dates. It was called something completely different back in the day. But just to the other side of the statue here, there's a bunch of chairs, and you can sit on the chairs, and you can have a good old time, and you can just hear the water and feel the coolness, and it's just very beautiful. Now, this is back downtown. This is like version 1.0 of the street performers in downtown Las Vegas. This is the first version. This is the first guy that you would see down there. This is before they had circles that they had to stand in. And my chat seems to have completely stopped, so I'm either very boring or YouTube is having another bug. This is not exactly as crisp and clear as I'd like it, unfortunately. But it is a great photo for me because he was posing directly, looking directly at it. The depth of field is nice, and I love it. He painted himself gold. I don't know what he did. Does Caroline have any Vegas-themed masks? Paul says. We do have some Vegas-themed masks. I can load that up and show you. I did another one, and I can show you what that looks like after this. We have about 23 different fabrics now. They're very different from whatever you guys saw, but we have a few Vegas themes. I'll show you in a minute. So here's another one that I really, really, really like. Sometimes you make something and you look at it and you go, oh, I love it. Now, this unfortunately became a White Castle. Yeah, that sucks. Harley-Davidson pulled back big time on their strip locations in Las Vegas. I don't think the Trader Bill's sign is there anymore. This is, I believe, now a White Castle, which sucks. But I love this photo. It's one of my favorites. The sky comes out great. Looks very natural. The rocks are red. All the colors kind of blend very nice. And I love the green neon here around the Trader Bill's. And I believe that sign is in the Neon Museum now. Some of these pizza places, all these little small places, they're gone. That's just what they do. They just get rid of people. Oh, man. Yeah, I remember this one. And I remember taking it and being so disappointed and finding out for the first time that my camera I bought at a pawn shop, the pawn shop camera had these blotches on the image sensor. They were just dust. And I did get them cleaned, fortunately, but it was too late. Now, I could fix that now, but I think it's part of the mythos of the photo. I know I'm getting psychologically boring. This is boring for everybody. That's why nobody's here. But this photo here is looking down towards Strip. We can see Trump Tower, the Rio. So we got Trump Tower, Circus, that's the tower, Trump Tower, the Rio. Then we also have the Palms, and this is Palms Place. Now, this is the Criminal Justice Center building. And you can walk up one of the parking garages to get this shot. So, yeah, these are HDR Jersey T. I know I overcooked them a little bit if you know HDR, but I like the way they look. This one here was a difficult one to get because there was a lot of climbing. Now, this one here is I have a different version of this one here, but this one here is what I like because the way the light shines off of it, it doesn't look real. It looks like something you'd see in a model, but this is actually a real photo. The other one is much more muted, and you can see the light reflecting off of it. This is the Lou Revo Research Neurological Center. They do stuff for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, anything that has to do with the brain. And this building is by Frank Gehry. Frank Gehry is a very famous architect. If you're not into architecture, but he's done a lot of big buildings around the world, so it's very interesting. Now we have another one of the Lady Luck. Oh my gosh, the Hogs and Heifers Saloon, no longer there. No longer there, but The Lady Luck is gone. Now it's the Downtown Grand, but this is just how it kind of came out. And it's an interesting shot. I love the motorcycles all lined up next to the seedy little pawn shop that's no longer there. Hogs and Heifers is gone. Basically, if you came back to Las Vegas and you tried to look like this, look for this, you'd never find it. This is not there. Every single little aspect of this scene has completely been changed. And it's a good or bad thing, I don't know. Could you stop my grandma from flying in from Mexico? I didn't know we were allowing air travel in. That's good, William. Now we have the old-fashioned LEDs and the Luxor light. This one's a 2011 shot again. Lady Luck was Furman asks, what happened to Lady Luck? Lady Luck was one of Mayor Oscar, not Carolyn. Oscar Goodman's last mayor was her husband. One of his pet projects, he wanted the Lady Luck to be saved and renovated. And so he did his best to get the financing and to help those people out and work with the city council. And then it turned into the Downtown Grand. So the Downtown Grand is what once was the Lady Luck. So here we go. We have the Luxor. This is just a nighttime shot that I did. Very challenging shot. A lot of long exposures all put into one. Not bad. Not bad. I like how if you zoom in on this shot, you can actually see the literal individual lights shining out of the Luxor. It's pretty interesting. They have that little red beacon on the top that you usually can't see unless you take a long exposure. And that was a pretty cool one. I like that one. That was when I went down to the Mandalay Bay one day, but I ended up getting shots of the Luxor instead. Oh, now, here we go. This was a different era in Vegas. So with this one here, you climb up to the very, very tippy top of the showcase parking garage. That's where I parked for my live stream the other day. And you get up to the very top, and you can see a lot has changed. I mean, a lot is the same. The MGM is the same. These are the mansion at MGM on the top. That's a suite. You can rent that out if you want to. You get your own private butler, your own atrium. You have the Tropicana in the back. The Tropicana, of course, used to be gold and white, not gold and white anymore. So this is a giant, huge suite that you can rent out for like $10,000 a night, but you can't rent this one. This one only goes out to high rollers. Very much high rollers. You got to be invited. You have to be a whale to go to this one. Going back to downtown, because we're flipping around, we have the Neon Museum. Now, if you go there now, it's not that changed. There's a lot more corporate logos on it. And these are some old Neon Museum type signs. This is the Neonopolis. If I said Neon Museum, sorry about that. This is the Neonopolis. Neonopolis is that place right by the Heart Attack Grill and the Denny's. You walk in there, and there's a bunch of gift shops and little comic stores and nostalgia places. Right back then, it was a big failed project. The only thing you could find in there was some neon. Everything else was kind of closed, unfortunately. You know, and that's what that is. But this one here is a very muted version of an HDR photo. I didn't do a good job in many aspects. I won't point them out to you because you may not see them. I don't have any pics of the MGM Grand Adventure, or was it before you moved there? It was. I attended there. I went there as a kid once, Mr. Unblinking Eye, but I've never been there to take photos. I was only 14 or 15. I only got into photography when I was 16, so that's 26, 36. Jesus. 22 years ago. I've been doing this for a long time. I had these stupid dreams to sell this stuff one day. But anyways, so you remember the shot that we looked at, and we were looking at the Lady Luck. Well, this is actually facing away from what we were just looking at, towards the Fremont Street Experience sign. You can see it right here. This one here goes and looks at the Fremont Hotel, the beef jerky store. I worked this as a timeshare place for about 10 minutes. I didn't like it. All of these signs are generally gone, I believe, right now. They're in the Neon Museum. And you can see Fremont Street over there, and some of these hotels I can't remember the name of right now. They don't roll off the tip of my tongue. And it's not a bad photo. The sky looks really nice. You have those cerulean blue kind of Nevada skies, which are pretty cool. And I'm zooming in. That's my problem. I got to go next. And this one here, if I could only find the original of this one here, I would print it and hang it on my wall. I hung it on me wall. Oh my gosh. Sugar Butt Williams says they're going to be protesting by Trump Tower. Well, that'll be an interesting predicament, and we might have, I hope not smiling. I'm saying that's a bad idea. And it's always a bad idea to protest, but no, I'm lying. It's not a bad idea to protest. It's always a bad idea to threaten violence. Because when you threaten violence, then people expect you to be violent. I don't know if they threaten violence. Hopefully they're just saying we're going to scream and yell and hold up signs and march around. That would be good. Irwing says, no howdy, partner guy. I don't have him. He's Pioneer Pete. I did do that shirt with a face mask on Pioneer Pete, but I don't have him. I don't have him. Now, this is actually one of my favorite ones. I took this from the Bellagio, standing up on the wall as you walk up towards the entranceway to the main entrance to the Bellagio. We got Bally's, the Paris Hotel, and the fountains, and it's very hard to time this kind of photo because you have the fountains dancing, and usually you're not going to get that kind of picture. I got lucky, I guess, that day. And this is when they threatened to arrest me at the Planet Hollywood. Yes, this is when they threatened to arrest me at Planet Hollywood. One day, I realized that you can go up to the top of the showcase and take photos. Well, that's good, but that's bad when you do it at the top of Planet Hollywood. What this is actually, this is 2 photos that are exposed pretty much perfectly in terms of this kind of stuff where you got to stitch them together. And then I stitched them together in Photoshop, and this is the whole back end. Now, what you're looking at right here is not the same scene as you would see today. Here's why. This is the Harmon Hotel. And can you guys see my mouse? Hopefully you can. This is the Harmon. The Harmon Hotel is gone. It's been, it was demolished floor by floor. It was supposed to be this tall originally, but it was not. And then, of course, we have also the Planet Hollywood Theater for Performing Arts. That's the only part of the original Planet Hollywood that still exists to this day. That's the one from the 1960s. They did Miss America pageants there when Steve Harvey did that giant faux pas and messed up the winner. That's where they were sitting. We have the Paris Hotel over here. We have Caesar's Palace. It's going to be missing one of its towers. They were just building it in the back. We have the Paris right over here with the Eiffel Tower. Also, not in this picture anymore. If you go there, the Harley-Davidson Cafe, which is in our lower left right there. And also all of this fascia, which you can't see, is all gone. That was the old Harmon corner or Harmon whatever. You should do photo excursions of Las Vegas, Jersey T says. Yeah, somebody else said I should do tours, like high-end tours with people. I don't know that they would pay. Switching back to downtown, Las Vegas, I don't know what you're looking at right here. This is not the new City Hall, I don't think. I just called this Plaza, and I don't know what I was thinking when I named these, because I'd have to go back there and actually see where I was and what I was looking at. It's not a remarkable picture, but I think it's cool that they keep the water running in downtown Las Vegas. I think it's nice that they do that. Now, if you guys want to see the full resolution versions of these, of course, they're on my Patreon. They're on the second tier from the bottom, and I posted these on Patreon, so you guys can go and check them out and see them. Depending on your connection, you might be seeing blurry blobs of garbage. Depending on my connection, you might be seeing blurry blobs of garbage. But I thought I would show them to you here so we can make it all. Now, oh my gosh, going back to Caesar's Palace. Now, this is special to me because I don't have what's called a neutral density filter, which is what you use when you want to blur water. So this silky water right here was just done with very, very long exposures and software to get rid of the image noise. The longer you have a shutter open, the more noise it creates. That's why I can't blog with the little tiny GoPro. The GoPro has a teeny tiny little image sensor about the size of your small fingernail in it, and so you can't do low light stuff on the strip with this. It just is unusable. Bigger cameras have bigger sensors, but they're still not good in long exposures except for the nicer ones these days, which are very unaffordable. So you have the nice water. That's a good effect. It took me like 10 seconds to get that. 10 seconds of shutter open, making sure, praying and hoping that people don't walk in front of my camera. And then we, of course, have the statues, which are absolutely gorgeous. This is inside the Forum Shops at Caesar's Palace. Okay. We got the next one here. Oh, man, who remembers this place? Give me a thumbs up and say me, me, me in the chat if you remember the Riviera, because I sure do. This is the Riviera when they were taking the sign down. If you look closely in this photo, you can actually see some of these are taken down. There was old neon in here, and they started disassembling it. And I was like, I gotta get a photo of the Riviera sign. My only biggest regret about this is that I didn't go back and take one at night. And you can see the old neon is actually kind of, the green backer is missing right out here. The Riviera was, of course, iconic. I love this place. My love for this place knows no bounds. That was my parents went to stay when they were growing up. Very nice. Me. Everybody knows it. The first hotel I ever entered, Jeffrey says. The Tangiers Casino? No, that was the Stardust, Bruce, but you're right across the street. So you get an honorable gold star, half a gold star. You get a silver star. You get no stars. Deal with it, Bruce. Get down on your history. No, I'm just kidding, Bruce. I appreciate you guys chiming in with your comments. It makes this a little more easier to do. I look at these photos and I wince. I say, nobody's going to know. Why don't bother with this? But it's like, no. Give it to your audience. See what they tell you. Oh. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. So many things in this photo that make this photo really, really cool for me. First of all, this guy here. This guy in the red ball cap. We see him all the time. He's a homeless guy. Or he has a home and he has nowhere to go during the day, so he just wanders around. And I don't have any pictures of the New Frontier, Joe. I wish I did. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Yeah, the movie Casino was based on the Stardust, Bruce. Stardust. It was based on the Stardust. Maybe they filmed it at the Riviera. That's a possibility, Bruce. So maybe you got one over on me. Aha, Bruce got me. Gotcha moment for Mr. Steven. But this guy here is no longer here, I don't think. I haven't seen him in a decade. And you have these people, and you just see this guy. This guy looks like he doesn't smile enough. And he's smiling. And then this guy over here, he's angry, man. He wants you to come over and buy that cheap gold that he's going to convince you is worth a lot more than it really is. And this guy's just rocking and rolling with his headphones on. Not wearing a mask or anything like that. Kind of drives me nuts because that paint can't be good for you. Of course, they just use the cheapest paint they can get. And they're just making these beautiful, amazing pieces of artwork. Just amazing, beautiful pieces of artwork. And I love this picture a great deal. I don't know why. This is where the Slotzilla was just opening. So beside, you can see the guy right here. That's just a tarp. So they had a couple of like scaffolds built up, and it did not look sketchy at all. Oh no, kids, you want to go on that Slotzilla thing now, not back then. Now I covered this in a live stream. This is it's not Lady Madonna. That's a Beatles song. I can't remember what church this is. This is a Catholic church, and it's on the Historical Registry of Places. It's from 1935. And I just always loved shadows and photos and lights and the way light hits. And I love it. And I hope that whatever happens downtown, nobody goes stupid and smashes this kind of stuff. Because it would be horrible. It is the oldest Catholic church in Las Vegas. Probably one of the oldest. Maybe one of the oldest in the state. I probably bet Reno beats it. There's probably some Mormon temples that beat this. There's, of course, the old Mormon fort. But this is Catholicism, and Mormons are not Catholics, and vice versa. So we have to be very specific on what we talk about, lest we offend people. And I think that might be... Don't tell me that's it. Yep, that's the end of the photo tour, you guys. But I did go ahead and I posted these on Patreon. So if you guys are interested, you can always go and check those out. And you can see what I'm doing over there with the Patreon. And I also said that I would show you guys something Skywalker. So we're going to look at my wife's fabric patterns. So to do that, we're going to flip right here and just go to vegasfacemask.com. And hold on, I know you can't see me. I'm just pretty pathetic. This is the worst live stream. This is the worst live stream I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I know, but you didn't pay any money for it, so stop complaining and you're moaning. So if you guys want to see this, you guys want to see some patterns for the masks, I will show you that, and then we'll get back to me talking instead of just these ridiculousnesses with the photos right here. So we have vegasfacemask.com. This is the site that I built for my wife. And you guys can see that right there. I get this cool little collage of stuff in Vegas, and it's me in a mask, and it's Vegas. So we can see how they go on. You can see me wearing one right here, wraps around the back of your head, around your ears. You can go up further if you don't want it to go around the back. I was wearing a ball cap, then she took it off. But we can see right here, these are the patterns we got. So we do have these different patterns. I'll just... stop being a megalomaniac and turn myself off for a minute. And you guys can see right here, we have tigers and lions and tigers and bears. We have cats. We did order some fabric for dog lovers today. Got lots of cat patterns. What were we thinking? And for the Vegas theme stuff, we have this one up in the top corner, number 7. And I do have this one, number 14 down here. So you guys can see some Vegas-y stuff. And we're always on the lookout for new fabrics, but it can be incredibly hard to find fabrics nowadays. Everybody wants a fabric. everybody and their dog. We don't have this one anymore. We made our special two-face mask that we will auction off. All you got to do is go to the site, do the thing, fill out the form, hit go. I'll invoice you. Some people were paying me extra when I was PayPaling, but it's just too much work. I want my wife to have things to do, so I decided to not do that. I said, okay, no, we're not going to look like that. We're just going to charge people. If they want to be extra generous, then that's very nice of them, but I'm just going to get it done. And so there we are. We have everything you ever wanted to know about my photography in Las Vegas. And I ask you guys, what do you think? What do you think about my photography from my Vegas years? Should I keep it up? Should I keep doing it? Should I make prints? I don't know about that. You know, if I'm going to be an artiste, as they say, maybe I should make some prints. I'm not really sure. The tiger one isn't really flannel. It's just a thicker type of cotton. My wife likes to call it flannel, which is not the same. And William Garcia is breaking out the scorpion. Get over here. That was funny. I love that. Some Mortal Kombat going on. Are you on quarantine? No, Ricky Ticky. I go to work every single day, Monday through Friday. Silk screen your pics for masks and shirts. Well, you can actually do that right now on Teespring. So you can go to Teespring and I can put any of those prints on a Teespring shirt. They have all sorts of things you can do on Teespring. I have hats I can do. It's complicated to do the hats, but I can do beach towels. You can do prints you hang on your wall, that kind of stuff. But it's so overwhelming. What do I know is good? What do I know is bad? I know what I like, but it might not be what you like. And when I do get my you-know-what together and get my debts paid and have some money saved, because a lot of what we're doing is going towards the future in case we have another quarantine and we all go out of work again. So all your generosity, you've been great, by the way. I'm going to invest in a very nice Panasonic camera with a very expensive, well, very expensive is relative. You can buy $10,000 camera lenses, not like that. But I'm going to invest in some good gear and get some good things going on and do some more photography and some more videography for you guys. Do I have implosion photos? I don't, Paul. Those would be cool to have. You know, some of the implosions are on YouTube, so you could always go check those out. And Paul says the photography is awesome. That's very cool. I want to thank the rock stars that showed up tonight, the level 3 local Las Vegans. So far, we have Vegas Mooch, Okerlund, Wooly 1000, and Paul T. And you guys are great, and I appreciate you guys for being here. Plus all my moderators. This one here was just probably not that popular because I wasn't talking about Vegas stuff. But sometimes you just got to take a step back and slow down a little bit. And that's what I'm doing tonight because it's going to be a hot week in Las Vegas. And we want to make sure that we got all of our energy for June 4th. Can I talk about Area 51 conspiracies on YouTube? I don't know, maybe. Whoa, Jed Jung with 10 Canadian dollar dues. I don't know why I call it. They call the Canadian dollar the puck. That's not true. They call it a loonie. I'm just messing with you guys. But thank you so much, Jed. That's very nice of you. Guys, give him 200-300 likes, thank yous. I'm not really sure. No, I think you can talk about conspiracy Area 51. What do you want to know about it? It's not a conspiracy. Area 51 exists. The likelihood of unidentified flying objects in our reality exists too. I mean, just because it's a UFO doesn't mean it's alien technology. It could be man-made technology that nobody wants to admit exists. All that stuff could definitely happen. Doesn't mean that it's not happening. It just means we don't know what it is. So you tell me. I'm glad the weather is supposed to be a little cooler on the 4th. Yeah, it'll definitely get a lot cooler on the 4th. That would be very good. I want to give you guys the very, very best, okay? I noticed that sometimes it can get hard to do YouTube videos. Honestly, it can be very difficult. It can be arduous. You can sometimes not have ideas. And you always have to have ideas. And when you have ideas and you do good things, then you'll serve your audience. When you repost content or you make the same videos as everybody else over and over again, I swear to you, there are so many videos on how to be safe in Las Vegas. I think I'm going to make a unique individual one that's not just a general thing about coming to Vegas and not getting mugged or something stupid. I'm going to make one based on current events. How to come to Vegas and be safe based on current events. Because with what's happening in the world right now, we need to have that kind of stuff. Like, there's some examples, like have a checkpoint where you can meet, an emergency checkpoint, stuff like that, or make sure that you're always in contact with people on your phone checking in, or stuff about masks and hand sanitizers. Those are important things. Viva Vegas, Viva Vegas. No, absolutely not. Where's Blackjack? He's not here. There is absolutely no plexiglass in most of the casinos I've seen. Whoa, Paul T. What is the Vegas Culinary Union crying about? The answer is money. Probably. No, from what I've heard, Culinary, Okerlund, whoa, heating me up. Thank you, Okerlund. From what I've heard, Culinary wants to make sure that their employees are safe. At least that's what they tell you. But Culinary also wants to bring all of the McDonald's employees into the Culinary too, and make sure that the people working at cash registers get $15 an hour. Now, I'm all for people getting paid more money. No doubt about that. No do to boot it. The costs of living have gone up, and wages in a state like Nevada have not. Right now, the minimum wage is somewhere around $8 an hour. I'm not going to tell you the exact price because you'll probably tell me I'm wrong and go research it. I can't Google during a live stream. It makes for a lousy live stream. Oh, stop it, Google. This is ridiculous.
These are the top results.
All right, guys, don't ever say that word right here when your phone's on. If you talk, we will come, Evan's mom says. Whoa, Jersey T. Jersey T from the Jersey Shore. Thank you, Evan's mom and Jersey T. You guys are very generous. Do you think Area 51 has slots? No, there's no slots at Area 51. It is a secured area. They wouldn't allow for that. But thank you guys so much. Great collection. Make some scenes, a series of themes. Yeah, I could do that. I would love to just create full time, but you know, I have goals, and I hope you guys have goals. Does anybody have financial goals in their life? Do you guys work really, really hard? I was watching a video on Elon Musk, and Elon Musk works like 100-hour work week, and he's just like this superhuman level of productivity. I find myself getting distracted by things and getting annoyed by things, and I find it really hard to stay on pace, so I'm trying to work so hard. Oh, John Procius. Thank you, John Procius. Guy, he's a local Las Vegas level 3. John is. He is. Tell him thank you. Whoa. Oh, my God. You guys don't even understand. Sometimes I'm so rude to cough into the camera, I just blew out your eardrums. Sometimes when you cough and you say certain things and then people want you to sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger and you get a little throat that's dry and then I cough, I'm the least unprofessional ever. The stealth bomber was developed in northern Nevada. Well, kind of central Nevada. There's a town where it says home of the stealth bomber. They developed it in the middle of the place. Ugh, I think I did the reverse as a teen. I found the closest comic book store and walked away from Circus and back. No problem, but not smart in hindsight. No big deal. Please check your PayPal, Jasonic says. Okay, I'm going to check my PayPal. And I have my notifications turned off. Don't bomb me with notifications, please. And it says that somebody stole all my money from my PayPal. Jasonic, was that you, bro? Are you serious? No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't say that. It says... Oh my God. Dude. That's crazy. Am I okay to tell everybody what you just did? Wow. That's nuts. You don't have to do that, Jasonic. Unless you say that I can say, I'm not going to say. Thank you. You are incredibly generous. Whoa. Oh my God. Okay. That was nuts. Thank you, Jasonic. Jasonic just hit me with a $200 tip in my PayPal. Specifically, for some reason, it came out to $200.55. That was nuts. And thank you. And Paul Kim is talking to me, so I want to stop on that. Wow. Thank you, everybody. That's craziness. And I've told you guys before, if you're ever feeling ridiculously jealous, not with me, but with other YouTubers too, make sure you use their PayPal or their Cash App because YouTube takes 30% of everything. And we all appreciate it, but I don't like how they do that. That seems like craziness. Oh, I got a good idea for you, Steve. Your collage of photographs you collected turned into a large 200-page monograph art book by Stephen Campbell on LV Milemarks. I'd have to Kickstarter that. Yeah, that was crazy. Thank you for 300. Is that 300 Canadian? Is the exchange rate that bad these days? Holy crap. Wow. That's nuts. Thank you, guys. Whoa. Okay. Here's another tip for you. Here's another clue for you all. The walrus was Paul. If you're going to buy headphones, please don't buy expensive ones. I bought these for $5 at the dollar store, and they're great. You're going to lose your headphones in Las Vegas. Don't bring expensive ones. People will steal them away from you. That's crazy, Jasonic. We did chat via email a while back. I appreciate you being here on my channel. My friend from Quebec, my Quebecois friend. Darren, it says, you work hard and I appreciate your daily updates and information. May not always agree, but you help me see things from another angle. Wow. Look, guys, other than the other people here, there's some normal people. You're all normal people. But that's cool because he says, I don't agree with you, but I listen to you. Somebody today in my chats, they said, that's what they said. Blah, blah, blah. You go on these stupid rants. You only have 500 people in your live stream, and this video only has 2,000 views. I guess people are getting tired of you. What they don't know, and I looked at that and I was like, should I be insulted or is that a compliment? I don't understand, honestly. Because here's the deal, right? Right now, there's a YouTuber with a lot bigger audience than me with 114 people watching him. And I've seen a guy with 800,000 subscribers with 400 people watching him. And I do a video, and a guy that's double my size on YouTube. You know, there's other channels in Vegas that are bigger than me. I do a video, and I get 10,000 views, and he does a video, and he gets 5. So I'm thinking that must be a compliment. But it wasn't. It was a backhanded thing. He says, you must never get sick of yourself talking. I do all the time. But people ask me to do the live streams. Oh, my God. Thank you to everyone. I meant it as a compliment. I know you did, my friend. I know you did, my friend. I appreciate you. And that's a good thing. You should listen to people that you don't always agree with. I remember listening. I listened to Bill Maher and Chris Matthews and stuff, and I don't always agree with all of them. Bill Maher is an interesting guy because he upsets his own base of people by saying things that they might not agree on, which I think is great. And then you have people that are just looking for sycophants in their echo chamber. Does anybody know what an echo chamber is? Oh, DJ Wilson is late. DJ, you missed it. We went in the first 30 minutes or so almost of this video showing you guys photographs, dozens and dozens of photographs. All I know is I've tried watching other Vegas bloggers and they are so boring. Erica, they all have their nice things. Okay. Doing good in my book. Keep it up. Thank you. Unblinking eye. The unblinking eye. I mean, it's like watching over Mordor or something. Herbert, Steven, please take my old tired morning live stream super chat. Okay, Herbert, I'll take it. You are so nice. Guys, thank you, Herbert. Thank you, Jasonic. Thank you, everybody, tonight. That was very nice of you guys. I actually paid $300 for a pretty powerful radio with all the bells and whistles. Nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with having nice stuff. My wife is angry at me sometimes because when it comes to gear, I don't buy the nicest stuff. And I say, well, I'll work my way up there. And she's like, no, you got to get the nicest stuff. And she's a sweetheart. And it is good to have nice stuff. I just sometimes have this little thing in my head where I don't deserve it, which is a really bad character flaw that you have to get over right now. Can't snap my fingers worth a darn. But you know what? She's like, no, don't buy that off eBay. Buy the nice stuff. So that's what I'm looking to do. But if everything plays out the way I want it to, I'll be able to do something special here on YouTube only because of your help. When do the casinos open up? Shamai, June 4th, unless we have horrible protests tonight. Apparently they're going to do it down by the Trump Tower. Please don't break stuff. Just protest. Can I just beg you of that? And I make the video, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, it is. It's all relative to one another. Pollution listening to liberals like Mar and Matthews. I don't know. I mean, you got to listen to the other side. If you're not agreeing with them, at least try to listen to them. Photos are awesome. Like more work. I would like more work too. I've taken a lot of different photos. On my Patreon, I take a ton of different photos. I post them up all the time. Unfortunately, Patreon will start showing you stats that nobody needs to know if I do it the wrong way. So I can go here to my posts and see if I can do that. And I've also started losing patrons, but that's okay. Not everybody agrees with everything everybody says. So let's see if I can find some. Yeah, I can't really show you guys. They make it cumbersome for me to make you give a sweet sneak preview. KT is here. My Skull Candy Bluetooth are awesome. $30. I paid $5 for these. They're Kodak. They don't have magnets in them. That's the one drawback, so you can't just clip them around your neck. Best Filipino dish is my wife's lumpia, but she makes the best pork adobo. I'm not even a pork fan, but oh my God, it's like she takes pork and she cooks it for a whole entire day, and it comes out like some kind of pulled pork sandwich. I'll go down to the Trump Tower and throw a Sonic plush toy through the window. Ha ha ha. Yes, it'll make that ring, that Sonic sound. Sonic the Hedgehog, baby. They'll be back. Listen, if you think that you do not deserve what is happening, that makes me feel less valued. You do deserve all of this, and we are valued. No, Dell, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's an issue that I'm working through, Dell. I make the videos, I push on. I know when I do something that is special to me in my head, so I try to make it special to me, and then whatever happens, just happens. You're blowing out the highlights on the images. Poor choice of depth of field. Why the image focus is so poor. See? I suck. So Alan said, I'm terrible. Well, Alan, there's a lot of reasons why. A lot of those were handheld exposures. A lot of those were done on an old camera. I used an old kit lens that didn't work properly. I didn't know what I was doing with HDR. I took them 11 years ago. There's a lot of different reasons why those are so terrible. You are a regular guy with pride of your city. Don't stop. I'm not stopping anything, man. Oh, Steve Miller, my friend, the Joker, the smoker, and the Midnight Toker is back in the house. I don't know if he does any of that stuff. I don't want to get him fired from work or something crazy like that. But that's what it is. Hey, Steven, that guy from the Bellagio is looking in your window. Oh, my God. I got to put the air conditioner that Mark gave me in, but this room is a mess, and I have no time. I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I do a YouTube video. I do some stuff for face masks. I go to work. I come home. I do a YouTube video. I do some stuff for face masks, but tonight I'm going to be editing a video. I have a bunch of clips that I took with my camera. Last time I tried to do this, it completely failed on me, and it was a bad idea. So let's see if it's a bad idea this time. And I took some clips with my Panasonic Lumix GH2. And yeah, even then it's not really loading up. I'll try to show you in just a second. And those clips are actually not terrible. The image noise is just out of control. It's not really all that good. And but I'm going to try to edit them for you guys so you can see an idea of what that looks like. So this is my video editing program right here. And I got to put it above my head so you guys can see it right here. And you guys can see in this window here, these are just dozens and dozens of little clips that I took. And you can see some of the stuff if it plays along and it plays nicely. Broadcasting on your PC uses a bunch of resources, so I don't think it's going to show me anything. Yeah, it's not going to. But I am at, oh, there it is. That's me on the strip. If you guys can see that well. And I did do some other shots like the Venetian and stuff. And that's just on my little 1080p with a kit lens. So you guys can see that. You guys can get an idea of what I'm working and cooking up in the books for you guys. So you can get an idea of all that. Yeah, Lethbridge. I drove down from Waterton to Calgary 2 years ago. Not sure if we went through there. Lethbridge is a beautiful place. My uncle lives in Lethbridge with his wife. I like Lethbridge. He used to live off of Mayor McGrath Drive. I don't know if he still does. Shoot, running late tonight. I hope I didn't miss too much. I showed you a bunch of photos that, according to one person here, are bad, but I was happy with some of them. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Steven, you have no life. You need a vacation. Paul, I can vacation when I'm old or when I have 3 times my FU money. If you guys don't know what FU money is, it stands for a curse word, but it's the money that you can have. So if you chose not to go to work, the money still comes in. But I don't have any of those kinds of monies yet. Must stop areas of the way from Vegas to LA. You know, you got to go to Baker, see the big thermometer. If you're going there, I would definitely stop. Man, I haven't done that drive in forever and a half. Southern California is absolutely beautiful. I'd make a diversion to Palm Springs. But why would you? I would go to San Diego. That's just me. The Zoo, San Diego. Balboa Park, San Diego. I know more about San Diego than LA. I've only been to LA a few times. Keep Vegas safe. All work and no place makes Jack a dull boy, but I have motivation. My motivation is for my godson Christian in the Philippines to graduate from dental school. My wife and I own some land out there. Technically, I own nothing because that's the law, but she wants to develop a property out there and rent it so we have income for the family there so we can stop having to send to them all the time. I want to get some residuals at the magazine company that I work with so I have a bit of an easier life so I can create more and have less stress. I want to lose about 20 pounds and get leaner, but that's hard to do when you're stressing over things. And I want to create content for YouTube, and that's what I want to do. Did you ever go to Windsor? Probably as a kid we drove through it, possibly. I'm not really sure, but I've never been to that part. I've been to like Cambridge, Ontario, African Lion Safari, and what have you, places like that. But I've never been to Windsor, Ontario that I can know of. San Diego and Temecula for wine tasting. Temecula is gorgeous. Lots of furniture stores out in Temecula for some reason. The 7 Magic Mountains, that would be cool to see. I might do a little film on 7 Magic Mountains if I can figure that one out. To do a film, you have to be really good on YouTube. I watched this one guy. All he does are mini film vlogs. He's like, I quit caffeine for 30 days, and it's so well done. And I'm like, how do you make something that good? You're just one person. Who knows? That's cool. My friend is building a church down there. Very, very nice, KT. Keep it up. I look forward to your posts every day. Favorite car, Steve? Wow, man, if I could drive anything at all, it would be a Tesla, the Model X. That truck looks pretty cool, although it's ugly, but it has a lot of cool features. But the Model X, I like the Tesla Model X. I have faith in you. Are going to be a YouTube millionaire. No, the only YouTube millionaire is Jake Paul. Jake Paul went and rioted to get clicks. I don't want to sink to that level. I don't want to live like that. What you guys might not know is that last year, My wife and I went, and we did the wedding for Jake Paul and Tana Mongu. They're a couple of brats. I'm telling you, is what it is. And I'll show you a photo of that right now, so you guys can see what that's all about. But there were a couple of brats and social media people. Now, this is when I had a YouTube channel at the time, and I wasn't thinking about it in anything in terms of seriousness. So she did this giant paper flower wall for the Jake Paul and Tenamongo. And so this is what she did. That's how big that wall is. That's me, a leaner version of me, standing in front of a giant wall in July. The people from LA thought it would be a good idea, that's her, to do this in July. Now, they didn't even get married in front of this wall. I got a bunch of stuff. That's a lady friend that has her company does beauty pageants. That's us. I would pick and choose my photos because nobody wants to see some of these. So you can see people taking pictures in front of it. That's Jake Paul, the YouTube guy. Apparently, you know, he went to the protests. I don't know why he would do that. This is buffering, and it looks like absolute garbage, unfortunately. But, yeah, I was right there. If you guys paid attention to that wedding, I was right there when all the you-know-what hit the fan. That's him. That's the guy that owns the house. He has a history. Graffiti mansion in Las Vegas. But that's what my wife wanted to do before our lives switch turned around. My life twist turned it upside down. But that's what she makes, and it's absolutely gorgeous stuff. She wanted to set those up, but you tell somebody what you want to charge for that, and then they tell you that it's too expensive, and they say, I'll give you $5. Literally. Jake and Logan Paul are so, I don't want to say. How are the Tesla astronauts doing in space? I read today in a news flash on my phone that I guess they docked with the International Space Station or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, so my wife wanted to do those. We have a friend here who's offered to maybe connect us to the companies that are in the casinos. She is an artist. She does those all by hand. Every single one of these flowers are absolutely 100% created by hand, handcrafted, heavy brooches inside that she purchases to put them in there. No, there's no cry cut machines. Anybody can buy a cry cut machine to make these things. That's not what she's all about. You know, this was one of her only paid gigs for the job that she was doing. And then everything, you know, just went backwards, sideways, and took a nosedive. So I'd like to get her working with that again. That would be nice. Yeah, I don't drink Guinness beer, but I'm part Irish, so I thought I would wear that. Those flowers are lovely. We do sell those flowers. It was so hot. Let me tell you, how hot was it? How hot was it? It was so hot that day that although we used expensive Gorilla Glue sticks, which are not cheap, to glue those brooches in there, the sun was melting on them. And then that thing fell down twice because the wind kicked up. And they decided to do a wedding with all these LA people. My point of this story is, what's this? I like stories. It's a Simpsons reference, Homer Simpson. Dad, what's the point of the story? I like stories. I was looking at people who were like, literally every single thing they did was for this thing. This was everything that they did. They didn't give a damn about anything but putting it on their social and increasing their likes. There's actually a show on HBO called Black something, and it's where one of them, you have a social score and everything you do is judged on a social score. And it feels like that's the future that we're going into. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's what that is. I appreciate you guys watching me on my live stream tonight. I appreciate all of my rock stars. We're going to start with Jasonic because he's not in my analytics or my viewer activity. But we're going to say Herbert Daughtry, Darren Teist, I don't want to say it wrong, John Procius, Jersey T, Evan's Mom, Okerlund, Paul T, Jed Young, I know I'm saying it wrong when I say Jung, my bad, Jed Young, Paul T, Wooly 1000, Okerlund, and Vegas Mooch, and of course Jasonic. Wow, you guys have been too nice to me this entire night. I like lamp. You like tie? I like shirt. That's another Homer Simpsonism. I was growing up as a 90s kid. Deal with it, my friends. Deal with it. But that's it. Black Mirror on Netflix, nosedive. Boom, Unblinking Eye knows exactly what I'm talking about. Underrated show. You got to really like shows that subvert your expectations. And I hope to do that on my videos when I make videos for you. I am not into making boring videos for you guys. I'm not into copying my content. I'm not into filming stuff ahead of schedule. I do have some things I got to work on tonight, so I got to log off this camera so I can get some things done before the casinos open up and they're completely irrelevant. Thank you so much, Jasonic. Please feel free to reach out and email me if you guys want to. The email is on the screen. That includes everybody. Even if you couldn't do the super chats, I want you to email me and I'll get back to you. If you want to get the best face mask that you'll ever have, vegasfacemask.com. I've made it very easily. Just fill out the form, hit the button. I'll invoice you through PayPal. I had one guy that was very nice and he wanted to pay a lot more. So I'm like, no, but if I do it on the invoicing, it's easier for the customers and my wife and everybody is happier. I'm not in this to get anything but happiness out there. So if you guys get something and she makes happy and you do something and it makes her happy, then I've connected two people and made them happier. That's what life is all about. All right, now's the time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. Tomorrow's video is going to be on top 10 ways that Vegas casinos want to change the industry, according to Wall Street sources. So you're going to look out for that video tomorrow. We're going to talk about good, positive things and positive vibes. Yes, we know there's going to be protests, but we don't have to focus on that because what we focus on gets bigger until it's so big it overwhelms us. So we're going to say 3, 2, 1, click, guys. All right, thank you so much. By invoicing, your accountant will be happy. I don't have one. I should probably get one. That is certain. 3, 2, 1, and God bless y'all. You're great. And click.